Welcome everybody to the fourth official podcast. I have myself, Lawrence Machado, the owner of Soaring Eagle Adventures Arizona, and once again we have David Franks. Welcome back.
Thank you.
For another podcast of us demonstrating, educating, and spreading awareness of heat stroke.
Yeah.
Heat stroke and more heat exhaustion. And we're just going to dive right in. Heat stroke is not as much different than heat exhaustion. Let's check over the symptoms again of the heat exhaustion. We have headaches, dizzy or fainting, heavy sweating, cold, pale, and clammy skin, nausea or vomiting, fast, weak pulse, weakness or muscle cramps, excessive thirst. That is heat exhaustion. Now for the heat stroke, go ahead, David.
The other thing, just really quick to add to that, is your body core temperature with heat exhaustion would probably be somewhere right around 100 degrees.
Okay.
Give or take a point
100 degrees.
here or there.
Perfect.
And then you'll see the difference between 100 degrees roughly with heat stroke and then what it's
Boom.
going to be when you roll
Which
into
is 104, 105.
Yeah,
just
right in
that,
there.
Just that much of a difference, you're in the danger, you need to get help zone. Heat stroke symptoms, again, not much different. Headaches, confusion or delirium, may lose consciousness, no sweating, dry skin, so we don't sweat profusely as you would with heat exhaustion. You have hot, red skin, nausea or vomiting, heart is rapid heart rate, and your temperature is above 104. That is the difference, and that is how dangerous and how fast heat stroke can come onto you. And that's what we're here again to do and explain what is the difference, which isn't that much, what you need to do. We have lots of things that we want to show you, lots of tips and tricks and strategies to stay safe in the heat in Arizona, to really respect the heat in Arizona, and most importantly, how to save a life and prevent somebody from dying on the trails.
And to go back to the things that you were just reading off there, when you're going into heat exhaustion, you're profusely sweating. So what's happening there? You're losing fluids, you're losing vitamins, minerals, everything else. Now you roll into heat stroke and you're not sweating. Why is that? Because you are like way out, dehydrated. You're beyond dehydrated. If at that point in time with heat stroke, if you could urinate, your urine would look like coffee.
Oh yeah.
It would be literally like coffee, and I mean dark coffee, not with creamer.
Right.
So that's one of the things too that you'll see in charts, and they will show you as far as the color of your urine based on heat exhaustion.
And
versus
that
heat
again is
stroke.
because you are a sponge. There's
Yeah.
nothing in you. Once you've hit that, past that level, and everything's just drained out, your body is going to maybe even automatically pee. You have no control. Your body's fighting for itself. The core temperature is way beyond what it needs to be. It's fighting itself to stay cool, which is why you're breathing heavier. And with that being said, your mind is being fried, your brain is not thinking, your body is not communicating with your mind. Now you're losing signals, and now you're falling over, which I've had before. I've lost signal with my body, so I fell over. I started peeing my pants, and I started becoming more stressed, and I couldn't think. And these are signs that are going to happen when you're going to heat exhaustion and to the heat stroke. Okay, and again, this is what we're here to do to help prevent that, because since our last podcast till today, just before we started doing this, another death has occurred on Grand Canyon, a 67-year-old from Texas. And we're not picking on people, that's what we're here to do, but we're using them as an example of why are we hiking in this heat if you're not familiarized or if you're not smart with hiking in the heat.
Well, just remember, when you're sweating, your body is naturally trying to cool itself off. So when you're going through those signs of heat exhaustion, your body has the ability at that point to try and cool itself off via sweat. When you move from heat exhaustion to heat stroke. In heat stroke, your body can't cool itself
No,
off.
it's
already gone up to that body core temperature of, I think, 103.5 to somewhere in 105 or above as it gets worse.
Right.
And it can't naturally cool itself off.
No.
And
not only that, but your head, you're going delirious, you're confused, and now you're losing consciousness. So now what happens after that? That comes in effect. Majority of people are going to freak out more.
Yeah.
And they're going to go into freak out mode. And what happens when we go to freak out mode? We react instead of responding accordingly. Now we're reacting crazy. We're going places. We're using more energy, right? We're stressing the body out more, and you're racing to that moment. So, again, we're going to go ahead and show you some strategies and tips. We brought some props and some cool things we want to show you.
One more thing first. It's very important to understand the signs of heat exhaustion, because once that comes on, you don't have a lot of time, 10, 15 minutes potentially. If you cannot get out of the sun, get back to your vehicle, back to your house, someplace, the time is very quick, and you need to be able to realize that this is what's happening.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't, then
that's the thing.
You've got to know your body. You've got to know the signs. Again, all the different signs on there have to be familiar. So when you feel it coming on, you have to make good decisions at that point, because 10 to 15 minutes down the road, I promise you, I've been there, you won't make good decisions.
Right. And this is what David's saying, learn right now from what we're about to tell you in our last podcast, that when that moment occurs, you know what to do.
Sweating profusely, mild headache, stomach, nausea, not feeling great, maybe almost feeling like you're sick, different things like that. Your heart's going to race. You got to know those things, and when you know that something's wrong, then hopefully you've taken the precautions of knowing the trail, knowing your surroundings. Can you find shade? Can you get back to your car? You need to know those things, because if you can't get back to your car, then what do? You've got to find shade. The most important thing is not this. When you know you have heat exhaustion, the most important thing is bringing your body core temperature down. Simple as that. And if you're out on the trails in the sun this time of year, you've got to find shade, or you've got to create your own shade.
And if you're hitting that heat stroke, you need to pull over. You need to call 911, because you've hit in the red zone. There's nothing you can do at that moment. You're depending on where you're at, first off, and depending on your context. Now, if you're somewhere far in the valley or far in a canyon and you're in that heat stroke mode, the best option would to pull over and call 911. Now, what if I can't call 911? What if I don't have anybody with me? What if nobody knows where I'm at? Now, again, being where you're at and watching it, this is where you have to really think and plan ahead, so you're not in that. Okay, we're not in that mode or in that moment where you're far and somewhere, and then these signs hit up about you. Okay, and you pull over. But are you advanced, or do you know your system? You got to have a system of what to do. And so from our experiences, mine was you got to pull over, find some shade. I was telling David earlier that I was in a situation where there was two places to get shade. There was shade behind a rock that was getting blared by the sun, or there was shade where the sun was done hitting. So that's a detailed note right there, because when you're behind the rock with the heat blaring, you're still going to feel the heat. If you get to the shade where the sun's done, you're going to get more benefits of the shade and the cool. And those things, just tiny things like that matter when you're in that heat exhaustion, heat stroke mode. And you know, David had something that he wanted to share that I wish I would have had when I was sharing the story, when I didn't have any coverage or anything. And I know your last story, you didn't have any coverage.
Well, I mean, you have to remember, when you're packing your backpack, we all think about this. you want your backpack as light as possible. The heaviest thing, if you're hiking this time of year, the heaviest thing in your backpack is going to be your H2O, your water, or your water and your electrolytes. And one of the things that I do when I go out this time of year, and I brought them with me, you guys all buy water. And so I will take these, and I have some in my freezer at home right now. I put my electrolytes in here that I personally use, and I just throw them in the freezer. And so if I'm going to go out on my bike today, if I'm going to go, well, not necessarily today, but if I'm going to go out on my bike, if I'm going to go out trail run or something, I'll have 2 of these all the time with me, frozen solid. And if they're frozen solid, they're good for, you know, in my backpack, maybe an hour, hour and a half, which would be about the amount of time that I would be out on the trail, say this time of year. So that not only do you have something that's cold, you have your electrolytes, but something like this, frozen solid, really could help if you needed to bring your body core temperature down.
Definitely.
And just so you know, the most important areas, if you got in that situation to cool your body core temperature, is under your armpits, in your crotch, and around your neck. Now obviously you can't put a bottle around your neck, but if there's still some ice in here and it's cold, around your neck, under your armpits, and in your crotch. Just put it right in between your crotch, and if you can literally just close up your legs a little bit, hold it in there. Those are the best areas to help. That's where the most blood flow is in those areas,
so
and that'll help.
Keeps it cool.
Yeah.
Cool down. Oh wow, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
So
yeah, so having a cold frozen water bottle in your bag, 2 of them, is a bonus when you're hiking in the heat. For one, if let's say you're halfway through your hike, that water bottle has even melted, you have some cold water. Or you have it enough so you can shake it, you know, and apply it, like David said, in those areas to keep your cool down. Or you have it, you know, just to keep your gator cool if you wanted to. It's another benefit. It's a water bottle. You can freeze a water bottle. They're cheap and easy, but it's a good little hack, a little cheat code.
And I'll tell you something too, I couldn't tell you how many times over the years that I have handed those out to someone that needed them. You know, I mean, 3-4 years ago, pre-COVID, you know, you could go up and down Camelback any time of day, night, anytime you wanted, obviously within the park hours. Same thing at Piestua. And I couldn't tell you how many times you'd be going up Camelback in the afternoon and you'd see somebody sitting, you know, trying to find shade or something like that, and be like, hey, are you okay? Do you have enough water? You know, no, they don't. So, you know what? Here, have one of mine.
There you go.
And it'd be just my frozen, you know, electrolytes.
Think how many lives you'd save just doing that,
So,
you know? I've had an incident like that. I tried doing a yo-yo in Camelback in my younger years. I was trying to pull this stunt off in the hottest day of the year, and coming up one side, I had to pull over, and it was still tiny shade, and I was just praying for somebody to pass me and have some water, and thank God this lady, she had passed me, and she just did a quick turnaround, and she saw me. She gave me a cold water bottle like that, and I was able to finish the yo-yo. But something like that, so small, it helps a lot and goes a long way, and if you plan accordingly and you have 2 of them, it puts you in the safe zone. And that's what we're here to do, to put you in that safe zone. That's what we're going to do.
How many times do you see people when you're out hiking that are literally, you know, maybe have some kind of device that, you know, they can carry? What's going on here? I'm trying to grab something out of my pack. You know, you'll see somebody out there with 1 water bottle, and they're just, you know, and it may even just be one of these. I couldn't tell you how many times I'd see people going up Camelback, you know, or Piestua with 16 ounces of water, and that's it.
Yeah.
I would rather any day overpack, especially this time of year. You know, any temperature that's, I would say, 95 or above, and I am overpacking on the trails, whether I'm trail running or whether I'm on my bike, because it doesn't have to be 115 to get you in trouble. You can get in trouble at 95 degrees or 90 degrees if you are not prepared ahead of time and you're not being responsible with what you're bringing with you.
And that's true. I see a lot of people, especially on Camelback, and maybe people that just go hiking once a month, once a week, and it's just one water bottle. And what's happening is, as you're holding that one water bottle, you're limiting yourself from using your hands, and that water bottle is getting fried by the sun, so it's heating your water up. So I'm always scratching my head like, why not just carry a simple small backpack? Walmart's been stepping their game up. Shout out to Walmart. If you check out their hiking aisle, that's where I get most of my stuff. You know, REI, but Walmart carries things that you need that you don't need to spend bazooka money about. You can get a cool backpack for $5, $10 that has a cool phone pocket and it has a little water thing, and it's lightweight. It's just as light as carrying one in your hand. Now, do I want to risk having my phone fall in my pocket or have to carry it while I'm carrying the bar, my water? Just get a small backpack, keep your water bottle frozen in it, hands free, be more safe about it, and in your phone case, you can carry your phone that's protected from the phone cases that is thermal, which is cool enough. Again, David was able to give me a phone case. Check this out, guys. Look at that. Thermal phone case. Super light. It's reflective. If I were to drop it, I would see it in a heartbeat.
It floats.
It
it's
floats.
water resistant.
I
so
love this.
If you sweat like I do, you don't have to worry about it.
I love this.
Getting wet, and your phone will not overheat in that. I'll tell you something. If I was out on the trails and I could only bring, you know, a couple things with me, it would be this, and it would be that.
What's that right there, David?
And it's an emergency thermal blanket. And literally, the reason that you would have this is because you were talking about it a minute ago. If you're out hiking, the chances are you're going to be a couple miles, maybe somewhere between maybe 2 to 4 miles away from your car.
Which is far.
When you realize you have a problem. The chances of you getting back to your air-conditioned vehicle in 2 to 3 to 4 miles before you go into a potentially heat stroke is major. And one of the most important things that you can do while you're out on the trail is to create your own shade, because there's a good chance here in the valley you may not be able to find some. And so if you had to hang this over the top of a cactus or something, a rock, whatever, to create some shade, you've got that. The other thing, let me tell you, if you're out in the daytime and you pull that thing out in the sun, it would be extremely helpful for somebody to try and find you because of how visible you now are. I mean, that's like having a mirror out in the sun, which means it would just reflect everywhere.
Can you imagine
it's only going to help.
Oh my gosh, you give a little shine in the valley.
You know, you have to remember, everything in the desert this time of year, it all looks the same. And you throw on a gray or a white t-shirt or something like that, which is a good color to use in the desert, and then along with that, and it potentially is going to get somebody to you quicker to rescue you.
Exactly.
And at the same time, you know, if it's 110 degrees outside and you're creating shade with that, you may have dropped the temperature down to 100 degrees in the shade, or maybe just a little bit less, which is could potentially save your life.
That makes a big difference. Every little detail makes a huge difference when you're in the red zone. And this right here is putting you in the safe zone. And it's helping you be found. It's protecting you from the sun. It's lowering the heat. And
it's lightweight. It's
lightweight. And how much was this?
I don't know. Say $1 or $2.
$1 or $2 to save a life or save your life. Yeah, you can put that in my bag. For sure, for sure. Thank you for that again.
Well, yeah, and then again with this, with your phone, whether you're in heat exhaustion or heat stroke, if your phone overheats,
it's the worst thing. It's like having your phone die on you, but it's so hot that you're thinking, is it gonna blow up or just, fry? So
that will keep your phone from overheating. And I hate to bring this back
super
up
lightweight.
Again, but the young gal that passed away about 2 months ago in the McDowells, climbing up to Tom's Thumb and back, They said that they lost signal or something with her in the
Said
afternoon.
her phone overheated, didn't it?
Well, they never said that, but if I had to guess, that would be what probably happened. You know,
Yeah.
she left at 10:30 in the morning, so by the time, assuming she was working her way back to the car, she was in the heat of the sun on the Scottsdale side of the mountain coming back to the trailhead, and my guess is her phone
Blaring
overheated.
heat.
If she would have been carrying one of those, it's very possible
Wow.
she could have called somebody.
Right.
If you're on the Scottsdale
Right.
side, you have phone service.
I'm sure there's a lot of situations people couldn't call, but they had that.
You could have
Wow.
made a phone call.
Yeah, you
it
could have
it
made it.
potentially could have
Yeah.
been a game changer.
It potentially, yes.
I'm not going to say.
Now, in
it
some
would've.
cases, you're out of range, and you can't. So what do you do in that situation if you're out of range?
Well, if you're, you know, I don't know, if you, let's say you're out of range, maybe you're out in a superstition somewhere, and you're hiking that loop trail around Weaver's Needle, and
Soaring Eagle, Roger in. Soaring Eagle, Roger out.
Your phone's not working.
Nope. So what do?
Garmin, inReach.
Garmin.
And, you know, unfortunately, they're not inexpensive, but I can promise you one thing, your life is more important, and it's worth it to spend the money to do that.
Well, here is the thing. This is the name of the game. When you're advancing as a hiker and you're invading and you're going farther, you know, God bless your soul, that's amazing. It costs more respecting the rules and understanding what is needed to prepare. Now, if you're going to go far in advance, again, I think it would be helpful to know, can I get signal out there? Can I reach anybody? And if I can't, maybe I should have a satellite phone or a Garmin. That way, if anything were to happen, I feel safe in the back of my mind knowing that I can get a hold of somebody, you know? Again, we're in the 2025, so there's a lot of cool things out there, a lot of cool walkie-talkie and stuff. Things are lowering down, you know, everything's affordable. But overall, if you are going to advance into that level and going far, it is on you to be a responsible hiker. You know, if you're gonna go hiking in the heat, it is on you to be a responsible hiker. So if you are out there, it's recommended to have one of these. Keep your phone safe from the sun being overheated. It's recommended to contact your 4 contacts or 3. It's recommended to know how to pinpoint, know how to locate yourself, and you can share your pinpoint. It's recommended to, if you're going out of range, have a satellite phone or a Garmin. It's recommended that if you're getting heat hitting on you, have one of these, or I see that, David, you brought one of your cool rags.
Oh, yeah, these $10 frog togs.
The Frog Pod.
Frog togs. I
Frog
think it's
Togs,
called
there you
I think it's made by Frog Tog, and it's called a chili pad.
Chili pad. There we go, like
But
that.
you got, some of you have probably seen these before.
Oh yeah, everywhere.
It's
I'm sure
literally like
everybody's walked by them, but go grab you one of these guys.
Go grab one of these things here, and you know, remember how I was saying to you about your neck, your armpits, or your crotch? You know, you get this thing wet, and you get any kind of a breeze outside, and I kid you not, it will
Core
feel
temperature.
almost ice cold around your neck. I mean, it feels significantly cooler.
I love
now,
how pink
just
it
in
is
here.
too, so you can find it, you can locate them.
The only downside to pink is it attracts bees.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And
See,
I've
the
had that
balance of
problem.
everything. The colors do attract bees, so there is a balance there.
But this is a must. It really is. I mean, this time of year now, if I'm out hiking in December here in Arizona, I'm probably not going to have this in my backpack. But you know, most of the time I have it in my backpack. I get it wet, wring it out, and I will put it in a Ziploc bag. Excuse me. And it'll stay in my Ziploc bag like this, wet, period, for months. When you buy them brand new and you take them out of the like vacuum sealed, like a bag that they're in, they're already damp. And they've potentially been sitting on a shelf at Walmart for 6 months. So I keep it like this. It's lightweight. It can go anywhere in my pack. And it's just another way to be responsible for yourself. And again, I would use this if I saw somebody on the trail that was needing help. You know, I'd say 7 times out of 10, it's not me that's going to need it, but someone else might need it, and I'll be prepared to help them.
And the detail fact about this is, again, keep it in a plastic bag. It locks in that moisture. If you had it out the bag or laying in the sun or dry, it's going to dry like a prune.
Oh, let me tell you, you know, you put that around your neck out in the sun right now, and that would be dried like cardboard in 15 to 20 minutes. And then the problem with that is then you have to use your water to basically rehydrate this. So then you're using a very important resource that you have
that you needed
to hydrate this. So until you need this, you're not going to pull this out to use it until you know for a fact that you are in heat exhaustion. And then you're just going to thank the good Lord that you have it if you do indeed go from heat exhaustion to heat stroke.
Another thing,
another
goodie I want to show is, this is something that my friend Molly had made me, so shout out to Molly, she makes these, and I just use this one because I have many hats. But I like this one because it has a lot of shade it provides, you know. So overall, you know, a hat is recommended. Something like this that has a lot of shade for the face helps again, because there you go. This one you can get wet. I like this one a lot.
You go from a ball cap to, you know, your cap, and you're keeping your face, your ears, your neck, everything covered. And like you were saying about this, is if you've got some water, you could get it wet, drop it on your head, and oh my gosh, especially as a bald person, you're going to be happy.
Coolness, yes.
You know.
See, another little strategy, or something that, you know, most of us already know. You just need to apply it and do it.
Small, lightweight. I mean, literally, you could shove this in your pocket.
Right.
To put it in your pack and have that, it's easy. It's quick.
And I know a lot of new hikers, you know, a lot of hikers that are maybe watching this that know this stuff already, you know. But we're more targeting the audience that don't know about these things and don't know that you should be wearing them on the trails. You know, I know a lot of new hikers or average hikers, they just want to run out and get in the mountain. And again, bless their heart for that, but you want to take your tools with you. And I know a lot of people don't want to carry all that stuff. You don't have to carry heavy stuff. There's ways to carry that's light, so you can feel comfortable. I love feeling lightweight, but I will not go if I have certain things, because I know those are my tools to be in survival mode when I'm out there, engaging far places, or when I'm adventuring places that are deep out there. You know, it's a different mindset. Now, when you're in a city, you know, okay, ambulance is going to be there within 30 minutes, you have people are going to come across you, but when I'm out in the field, adventuring deep in places where it's like 4 hours to get to me, you need a helicopter, and you don't, it hits you a lot differently. You're gonna be more mindful. And I know a lot of people who've adventured with me, I become a mom or a dad when I'm on the trails, because their lives are in my hands. When I'm guiding them, you're in my hands, so yeah, I'm going to get on you if you're not being careful walking on the rock, or if you don't wear this and that, because I'm making sure that my team, my group, my guide that I'm guiding is going to have the best experience and not get hurt. So I take those same rules here and I double them out there, because it's way more life-threatening. And to add on to that, while I'm out there, this is something I carry with me all the time. It's called a life straw. I know you guys heard of it. Most of you have one. And it's something I recommend. Again, Walmart, $25. This is a lifesaver, okay? I'll tell you why. When you're out in the creeks and you're out of water, let's say you gave your water to help somebody for any reason, you can just get some water from the creek, and it has a filter built in, and you can just drink out of it, or just pour it into a water bottle for emergency cases only. It's not recommended just to go and drink out of it, for emergency cases only. Here's one of them. I like this one. This is a cool new model they just came out with. You just pull it out, and you put it in there, just twist it, and you just drink out of it, okay? That's one of them. Here's another model, okay? This one you can drink straight out of the water. And this is a very expensive model that my mom got me, you know, and it has a whole So it's a bigger version. So there's so many versions out there, guys. But the point is it's recommended carrying one when you're going places far out of the city, and you know you have a good hike out.
Great example of that, and I know you spend a lot of time there, is the Grand Canyon.
Oh yeah.
You know, so if you're hiking up, well, say you're hiking up Bright Angel Trail, as you know, and it's maybe in the afternoon, if it's in the afternoon and you're hiking up, the sun's in your face.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's plenty of shade that you can find on the Bright Angel Trail, but there's also plenty of water. So to have a filter, if you had run out of water, now all of a sudden you're able to hydrate.
Or if you're like me, you're picky with water. It helps to filter the water,
Yeah, well, exactly. I'll tell you something. I did the South Kaibab down to the Phantom Ranch and then hiked out Bright Angel Trail. And I want to say it was in like July, and it was like like 105 degrees coming up out of Phantom Ranch. And I got to tell you that 3 or 4 times on the creek that runs down the Bright Angel Trail, I literally took my pack off, got in the water, and laid back in the water and was letting that little creek run right over me.
You have to.
3 or 4 times.
You have to.
I just brought my body core temperature down, felt like $1,000,000 after I did it, got up and hiked out. But
you'd be a fool not to get in the water. You have to get in the water.
If it was that hot and you're down in Phantom Ranch right now, I'd be in the Colorado River.
Yeah, I'd be swimming there right now.
It would feel refreshing.
Refreshing, cool, beautiful water.
And that's the biggest thing, you guys, with heat stroke, is your body core temperature.
Yep.
If you were to get rescued by EMT, search and rescue, whatever you want to call it, if you are in heat stroke, one of the first things that they have to do, forget about getting an IV, of saline. The first thing that they're going to have to do is bring your body core temperature down, because the body core temperature is life-threatening.
It is.
Period.
It will shut everything down.
They literally have it's almost like a gunny sack that they will put you into, and they will pack you in ice like a fish to bring your body core temperature down. Once they get that under control, get your vitals under control, then they're going to give you an IV and they're going to hydrate you. But the most important thing when you are in heat stroke is getting your body core temperature down. And that's why things like this, things like potentially having an ice water bottle with you, having some way of creating shade. And I'll tell you, worst case scenario, if you had to, take your shirt off. Take your shirt off, hang it over something, create some shade somehow.
Right.
Because when your body goes into heat stroke, you are not hiking out.
No.
You now are in the term you used of survival mode, and
the red zone.
You now have to create shade, cool yourself down.
Time is ticking.
Yeah.
Time is ticking. You're in the red zone. Now, do you know yourself now? Do you know yourself well enough to how you're going to respond to this? Do you have a game plan? Do you have your tools on you? Did you take what we told you from this video and apply it? And all that's going to come to your mind, because now your mind's going to confusion, fear's kicking in, and again, this is us telling you from our experience that is what's to come if you don't pack correctly, if you're not taking electrolytes in your system, if you're not planning accordingly. Another strategy I like to add on to that. Now, let's say that were to happen, and let's say you barely make it out, and you make it to the car, right? Oh, I get the keys in, you open the door, put the cold temperature down right up, and you're looking for cold water, but did you pack cold water? Did you bring a nice little cooler with ice in it that had drinks that, melted, but it kept it cool enough? Oh, you know how many times I've done this trick? You just pack a cold, big cooler, you leave it in your car, and as you're hiking out, you may be like, oh, I can't wait to get out. But in your mind, you have a cold cooler in your trunk with the things you need, and cold ice and everything. And that's a great strategy. And you may not think it helps, but it helps. So even on small hikes or anything, because you could be coming across somebody that may need it. You know, you can help them out.
The other thing too, you think about the different age groups. You know, maybe you come across somebody that's elderly.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you come across a lady, a husband and wife that look like they're in their early 70s.
Right.
The different age groups, you know, that you may have out there, whether it's someone elderly, whether it's someone my age in their 50s,
right.
or maybe you've got a young child. All those different age categories are going to be different in how their bodies handle and respond to heat exhaustion and heat stroke. And so to be able to have this information that we're giving to you now is really can be the difference between, you know, having a great fun experience or a nightmare.
And that's a very valid point. I like how you brought that up, because if you're going to take a group out with friends or family, you need to check and observe each individual and know in your head, hey, does my sister, has she been in the heat? Or does so-and-so, you need to be mindful of each person and really listen to them. If they say they need sunscreen or they need their sun covered, then find a strategy for them that's better and be mindful about it when you're on the trails. For example, the mother, you know, I hate to pick on her, but I am, that took her kids to South Mountain recently. 10 and 11 people were rescued. Are you kidding me? To put those kids at risk on South Mountain, it just baffles me. And South Mountain, I was telling David, when I do the 7th summit, South Mountain is the hardest mountain for me. Yeah, it's the last one, but it's the hardest because it's hitting heat. There's no shade. You're doing some switchbacks. You know, if you hit the little pocket, you may have a little rock, but who plans for that? It's like a furnace back there. So that really, really disappointed me. And again, this is why we're doing another one, and we're coming at you a little more aggressive and more information, because it's just, you know, it's getting out of control. So with that being said as well, I also wanted to bring up the fact that we are in our 117 degree week, okay?
Yeah.
And so what that means is that if you're not hiking or outside like me and David every day, almost every day, you shouldn't be outside. Don't even step outside to even think about hiking. You go before the sun goes up, and you come before it comes down. Because I'm sorry, you're just not fitted for the sun. This week particular, this month, I would say, it's the hottest. We're hitting our hottest, okay? For us, we love it. It ain't nothing to us, you know? For the audience that aren't outside acclimating, who aren't respecting, who don't have these tools, who aren't on the trail, you shouldn't be adventuring far off trail, or you shouldn't be hiking at the peak of the day, okay? And that's coming from me, personally, saying that, you know, that it's just, you have to be mindful if you're not outside every day, like David. David's been living here majority of all his life. You guys heard his testimony in the last podcast. He's every day, he's mindful. He has vials. He's super responsible. He's super smart. He's educated me. He's putting me on things, okay? If you're not at this level, then you should not be adventuring off-grid, or you should not be hiking in the peak of the day. And that's bottom line.
Well, there's, you know, as you and I talked about the other day, Lawrence, you and I are probably, and there's other people out there, trust me.
Oh yeah,
I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people that will get out there.
This isn't for them. This is for them.
You're kind of in a 1%er, you know, and in the kind of climate that we have right now, especially with the dry heat, if there's a problem with the dry heat for some people, is you're not going to notice that you're dehydrated or heading that direction because it's so dry. You're not going to see the sweat. Now, if you're with me, you're going to see it, because I sweat like a stuck pig all the time. But you have to stay ahead of the game, knowing, you know, like he was just talking about these little vials. I use these little vials to put pink Himalayan sea salt and mineral salt in.
In the last podcast, he demonstrated.
You know, and if I go out this time of year, I will literally stop. If I'm on my mountain bike, I'll stop every 20 to 30 minutes, and I'll put some in my hand, lick it, and down it with some water, and it keeps me from cramping up. It keeps me from getting dehydrated. But you have to know those things. You have to know your body. And unfortunately, I have been underneath those blankets or whatever you want to call it, trying to find shade, because I have had to learn the hard way twice, and I won't make that same mistake again. You know, we were showing you the Garmin InReach for hikers, trail runners, and all the rest of that. I also use a device made by Garmin that goes on my bike, and it just gives you all your kind of
Garmin.
fun little details, your speed, your distance, your elevation, and all of that. But the other thing that it has on here is it has a crash detection. And so if I'm on my mountain bike and God forbid I crash on my bike, it basically will start ringing and asking me, you know, like, are you okay?
That's pretty cool.
If you do not respond, it will literally send a notification out to the 3 people that I have in my contacts, and also to first responders.
Look at that, guys. So there's something that will help you if you're alone on the trail.
I mean, I hate to say this, and I don't mind it, but my, you know, I think it was $599 for this, $600, another $399 for this. So you know,
you bikers,
with all my stuff.
You bikers spend a lot of money on your toys, so an extra $500 wouldn't hurt,
well, I mean,
guys.
When you're talking about your life,
yes,
you know, is it worth $600? It was to me.
Yeah. Let's see. We have $2 right here. We have a whistle, 99 cents. These vials, you can put your electrolytes that are small, easy to equip. $1.
Yeah.
$10. $10. Another $1 right here, right? This little cooler I have, you can get for $10. What are we at right now? Like 70, 50, 60 bucks? Wow.
You're really, it's inexpensive.
Yes.
I mean, you can't. And like I mentioned a minute ago, if I had to pick anything, I would pick this, because it saves my phone. It's my communication.
Right.
And the other thing we talked about is, you know, having other people know where you are when you're out. There's plenty of apps on your phone that you can get for free where people can track you live, whether your phone is working or not.
My girlfriend just put me on Live 360.
Yeah.
And I love it, and I've never used it, so she knows exactly where I'm going, and in the Grand Canyon, and where I'm at, and in my head, I'm like an angel that knows where I'm at, and can find me, she can locate me, and that just puts my fear away, and put my comfort at ease, and allows me to enjoy my adventure, my hike, or my challenge. I'm able to focus more, because we all know as competitors, when you're in challenge mode, the focus is just as important as the physicalness. You gotta focus to do your challenge and compete. Every little ripple and effect can really just, it can throw you off track. So Life 360 is a cool app.
Yep, and there's a number of different apps, but you know, these 2 things, or I shouldn't say 2 things, it's one, but will take care of your phone.
I love this right here, David.
That is probably one of the best things. Yeah. Because it brings visibility to have somebody come and help you, rescue you. It will also create shade.
And water bottles, you know I'm not a fan of water bottles, but like you said, use them, freeze them, put them in your backpack, and cool the prime spots, he said. The prime spots for the body core temperature to cool down is behind the neck, under the armpits, and just between your crotch. And that, just put it there, and it will cool it down, put your blanket over, and I'm feeling cool right there as it is.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
I'm feeling safe right there. I'm feeling comfortable. I'm feeling like I can go do a hike right now in the heat with you, knowing that, you know, we have our tools. I know how to use my 360. I know how to pinpoint, you know, all those things. Don't be a fool and just try to challenge yourself with your ego and jump on a hike because your friends invited you, but you weren't responsible to ask questions. It's life over ego, okay? Life over ego. You have a family, you have kids, you have things you still need to do in life. Don't ruin that by just trying to do a hike and with somebody who's not mindful and asking you these questions. Let's be smart in Arizona. It's hot. It's hot.
Well, again, you know, back to just the heat stroke aspect of it. if I was going to do any one thing right now, if you're a listener, of this podcast, go online and look up heat stroke, look up heat exhaustion, and understand what the symptoms are, what you're going to feel body-wise, physically, and then, and you should have known this prior to, but if you go out on a trail, know where you're at. Right. Because if you can't get back to your vehicle, right, then you've got to quickly make some decisions on shade, bringing your body core temperature down, which are kind of one and the same. Your body core temperature is the most important thing if you are going into heat stroke. You have to bring your body core temperature down. Yep. How do I do that? I do it with shade. I could do it with my shirt. You may have to improvise if you don't have some of these different things, but you've got to find shade, and you've got to, with communication of some sort.
Don't be a fool and try to race out and try to get out as fast as you can, because it's going to get hotter and hotter. You really have to just pull over and don't try to push through it and be like, I got to get to the top. Find shade, and like I said, find shade where sun is being done hitting versus shade behind a rock. Now, if the shade behind the rock is all you got, and that's all you've got, okay? But I'm telling you that in my experience, you'll feel a little more different coolness, okay? And if you have to, stay there all you need to cool your body down, And
you don't want to try and walk out. You really, you just have to remember, if it's like, it doesn't even have to be today's temperature. If it's 105 degrees outside and you're going from heat exhaustion to heat stroke, you're in survival mode, and you better know that. Right. Because the difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke is about 15 minutes. Right. And at the most.
Remember, you're done sweating. So heat stroke, there's no sweat. Yeah. Your heart's going fast, okay? Your body is disconnecting from your mind. You're disconnected now. Now you're falling, you're tripping. You may be snapping at your friend, or you may be cursing or stressing out. You're impatient. And now you're trying to vomit. You're dry heaving, okay? These are very, very, very serious symptoms. Pull over, call 911, get some shade, cool down, and just know that heat stroke, that is the danger zone, okay? And to remind you guys before we end our podcast off is you need to be consuming these 2 to 3 liters of water daily. Drink as much water. Electrolytes. Do Frank's trick, which I'm doing now. The Epsom salt. I'm sorry, the Epsom salt. The sea salt, and the mineral salt. Okay, those help them go a long way. The new stuff that we showed you, having a whistle. The satellite phone. The cool chill pad now. Okay, these are things that are going to help and make a huge difference. And overall, make sure that you're always doing your homework and you're looking ahead of your trail. Do your homework, research, read forums, and ask groups. Rise Above, David Franks has a good channel. Soaring Eagle on Facebook. We love chatting and talking. You can ask us anytime. David's on it all the time. He loves it. And we will love to provide information, or better yet, invite you on a hike, or just learn from us. So
one of the things that I would suggest is, when the temperature is as hot as it is right now, don't go out. Yeah. Get on your computer at home and prepare yourself to go out and hike.
I like that. It's a good idea. Don't hike
when
right
it's
now.
105 degrees.
Yes.
Or whatever. But if it's 117 degrees outside,
that's ridiculous, guys.
It's probably a good time to start educating yourself on and preparing yourself to go out and hike when the weather's a little cooler.
Exactly.
I'm not going to be the one to tell you not to hike. I'm not here to tell you not to hike. We are here to prepare you
and tell you to hike responsible.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. To make sure that the things that are in your backpack, that you have the right things in there so you can go out and have a good time. Right. The last thing you want to have to deal with is what we're talking about right now. Mm-hmm. And if you're responsible with preparing yourself with the items that you should have in your backpack when you go out, you're going to have a good time. You're going to have a memorable time. You're going to be like me.
Yeah.
When I go out hiking, I love taking pictures.
Yeah.
I kind of gotten into photography.
Yeah.
And we want to enjoy our time out on the trails.
Yeah.
We do not want to have to deal with this.
Yeah.
And we're here because we've dealt with it before, unfortunately, and we want to spread information to you guys on how you can potentially keep this from happening to you.
Exactly.
And it's if you want to get a hold of me, I would love to help you out in any way I can. Any questions that you might have, I know Lawrence would do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to put me on your contacts list,
there you go.
On your inReach, I'd be the first person.
You have no reason.
You can put me on there.
Franks.
I will literally stop whatever I am doing.
Look at
I
that.
always have in my car at all times exactly what I need to come and help you out.
I love that.
So I would throw my telephone number out there, but I think it'd probably be a better idea not to.
You can follow the link. I'll put his Instagram up right here, Facebook.
Put me in your contacts list, and if you have a problem, I'll be the first one to come out and help you.
Absolutely. And like I said, don't be shy. Reach out. Again, we want to provide information. We want questions, so give us questions in the comments. We're going to continue doing more Heat podcasts because, again, there's so much to uncover and talk about. I would love to talk about our more experiences that we had in our next one, just to let you guys know what we went through. So you guys know that we are really speaking from the heart and from what we went through. And again, if I can go back and just remember that moment, I just would never want to be in it, or anybody to be in it. So take, again, what we shared, the knowledge, the tools, ask questions, add us on our social platforms, and let's keep this awareness going. Let's keep the trail safe. David hit it right on the nail. Use this time to educate yourself. It's too hot. It's too hot. Even for me, it's too hot sometimes. Right now it's too hot. Go somewhere cool. I got Beach House Adventures. You want to join adventures that are cool places, and just educate yourself right now and get ready for the fun season to come. Because you're hearing it from the 1%ers right now, and I know there's other 1%ers and 1%ers that are listening to this, and we're not talking to you guys. You guys understand, and you guys know. We're talking to the people who don't understand or need the tools and awareness. So this is targeting that audience, and so we're gonna end it off by letting you guys know that. Go ahead, David. Sorry.
No. I was pointing at this.
Oh yeah. That's what we're gonna do. We're too excited. We're gonna go ahead and end it off by letting you guys know that we are appreciative and just thrilled to have this podcast going, and we're happy with the feedback. We really touched that. We're able to inspire people and educate. I've gotten good feedback from friends. So this, for me, just want to let you guys know that it's not about followers or the views. I've been doing this for so long. My YouTube channel's been going for so long. I don't care about the quantity. I want quality people who are going to use information and share it. I'm all about the quality. I want hikers, people who want to learn, who want to do this. If you don't want to, that's fine. I don't want people who want to. So I'm very appreciative for our subscribers and the fact that that we want to give away a cool gift. David, go ahead and tell us what we have again on our giveaway.
Well, I gave away my Fuzi today to Lawrence so that he would have one because I have another one. So I'm giving away this to Lawrence. But we are going to, between, let's say today and when we do our next podcast,
Or we'll do a winner.
we will pick a winner,
Okay.
and we're going to give a Fuzi to that winner. So
Excellent.
you're looking at like about, I want to say maybe a $29 value
Okay.
that we're going to give away.
But wait,
And
that's not all.
Tell me what.
If you subscribe now, I'm going to go ahead and throw in a Soaring Eagle Edition
That's cool.
Eagle Elite gear, okay? This is my new line that I haven't released yet. It's for the Eagle Elite athletes, such as me and David Frank, people who are working on hard, comfortable material, hoodie, and it's just decked out with the logo. So I'm throwing
Very
this
cool.
in as well with, and if whoever it is, I'll customize the size. So I'm wearing one myself right now. So yeah, we got these 2 gifts, guys. For
cool.
our
Get that out of your way.
yeah, there we go. So we're gonna go ahead and draw a winner. If you go ahead and subscribe and you go ahead and comment in the section.
Yeah. So let's just say whoever is the 10th subscriber.
Okay.
Whoever is the 10th subscriber, and that comments. That, you know, just comments about, you know.
Well, I have already a subscriber, so we're winging this right now. How about this? You have to subscribe, and in the comment section, you have to push soar. When you comment soar, we put your name on a ticket.
Yeah.
And then we'll draw on the next podcast or before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
There we go, guys. All right, so we have a phone thermal case to protect your phone, and we have a Soaring Eagle Elite shirt that's going to be customized to whoever gets it.
Yeah. Perfect.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you again for watching.
Thank you.
David, thank you
Appreciate
as always
it.
for being on my channel. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. And until next time, guys, soar hard, soar above and beyond, and we'll see you soon.